printing a linked list is the exact same as printing a regular list, because if we look at the linked list, it does include this IEnumerable interface in what it inherits. So we can go ahead and create our method just like before. Static void print linked list. It'll be a generic type, and the parameter will be linked list t my list. And then because it implements the IEnumerable, then we can go ahead and do for each var I in my list console.write, and then we'll just do dollar or do string interpolation, print out I with a space, console.write line, and we'll just put a header here, console.write line, printing linked list. And so now when we call this, we can go ahead and print linked list, and this will be of type int, and we will give it my nums. So now running this, we should get the list printed out to the screen, to the console. And I'm going to go ahead and run this before or after adding each individual one, just so that we can see that the order it is adding these two there. So the very first one is 42, and then we told it to add first, so now 84 and 42. Then we told it to add last, so it'll add 15 to the end. And then we told it to add after 42, and so it inserted 23 in the middle there. This add after, we can also say, let's go ahead and do my nums.add after, and we'll just do my nums.find, and I will find, say, 23. And now we can give it a value, but we can also say new linked list node and 18. And so this linked list node is the exact same as what each of these are creating. Notice that this is of type node there. And now this says new node as opposed to value, because really what happens when you give it a value, it ends up creating a node. If you tell it to create a node with that value, well, it's just going to put that in there. And so let's go ahead and print this again. And we will see that the list that is getting printed out, where we tell it to add after wherever 23 is, it's going to add 18 into that location. So these are two ways that you can add it. We can also print it out the same way. And everything will work exactly the same as what you would expect with a list. Just like with a list, a linked list can consist of other objects other than just integers, strings, and everything else. We can create a public class dog and private string name, and then public string name get, and this will be return this dot name, and set is this dot name is equal to value. And we can go ahead and create a constructor. So public dog this dot name string name is equal to name. And just for fun, I'm going to also create a toString, public override string to string, return string interpolation this dot name. So we actually have that there. And let's see. Well, actually, the one that I had before had the ID, so private int dog ID. And this will also include int dog ID. And let's see, this dot dog ID is equal to dog ID. And just for fun and completeness, dog ID, dog ID, and dog ID. And let's see, this is int. And so now we can actually return both the dog ID colon and then the actual name of the dog. So this is the class I had created in the previous set of videos, or the previous videos. And now all we need to do is just say linked list dog my dogs is equal to new linked list that, and now we can go ahead and populate it. My dogs dot add last new dog, and then I need to give it a 42 Novo. And I'll go ahead and do this a couple of times. So 4284 Tayu. And we'll do 24 soda. And now that I have this, I can go ahead and print linked list, type dog, and my dogs. And now when I run this, notice I'm getting each one printed out on the same line just because they have this right. But I have a linked list which consists of dogs.